What's up, guys? We're not quite live. We're pre-recorded because I have to travel, and sometimes when you travel, the setup is not ideal. Sometimes it's hard to get a quiet place to film. Anyways, so the question we're going to cover today is bottom north-south. But before we go down there, I'd like to thank Alberto Marchetti, one of my good friends, Renzo Gracie Blackbelt, halfsumo.com for the sweet rash guard. It's beautiful. If nothing else, it will stun the person as you're approaching them with all the different colors. While they're trying to sort things out, you'll probably be able to submit them by then. Anyways, let's get right down to it. So bottom north-south. So guys, when you're in bottom side control and the guy winds up going north-south, I try to keep my elbows tight to my body, because anytime your arms start to come out, now you're giving the guy on top the possibility of attacking both the arms as well as the neck. Okay? So when you keep your elbows pinned, basically it starts to give him the neck. All right? So anytime I start to feel that the guy's attacking the neck, what I'm looking to do is turn my head towards him. So now if my head is turned, he can't do anything. Even if he starts to squeeze, if he actually commits to it and continues to squeeze, I'm going to get my wrap, and then I'm going to try to get to my knees. Now, when I get to my knees, I'm actually, go ahead, squeeze a little bit better. Right now, we're kind of even. But my hand is free, so I can always attack. Too late, Crash. I can always attack the nogi Ezekiel, or as I like to call it, iron fist. So that's always a possibility. So anytime, this doesn't happen that often, so when you turn your head, so anytime the guy wraps my head, so I worry about my arms. I'm basically allowing him to attack the head. If I turn, so if my chin is sort of above his lat, this is a problem. Once I clear the lat, this is going to be fine. So if he stays on it, I'm going to wrap wrap his head. What I'm going to try to do is hip out a little bit, and I'm blocking his far side arm. Make sure you can see it. So I'm blocking his far side arm so he cannot come in immediately for the iron fist. Hip out, scissor your legs, and get to your knees. From here, you might be able to turn him, but even if he prevails to bring you back down, my fist is closer to attack the iron fist because he's being blocked. So it's going to take him a longer time. But anytime you could turn your head, the choke is not there. So that's sort of first stage defense. So again, try not to have him have the options arms, kimuras, arm bars, and neck. So basically, okay, I'm going to protect my arms. I'm going to let him have the neck. All right? Second, go ahead. Once he decides that if he can manage to have my head turned, so now this is a mistake on your part, where your head starts to turn. What I'm going to try to do now is swim my right hand. And now I know he's going to connect. Now he blocked my head with his torso. So when that happens, go ahead. Go ahead. So as he's trying to connect, I deny him the connection. So again, I'm protected. That's one of the things. Whether your head is turned or not, you still need to block that outside hand, because he can choke you with one hand. I just did it to him. But you still have a better chance of not getting choked if you can block the second hand from coming in. All right? Now, sometimes as he starts to attack, and my head again, first thing I'd like to turn my head, but this time my head got isolated and it was too late. Now, I also did not block his second hand. When I feel that happening, I'm actually going to push his head into my own armpit, and from here, I'm going to lock up. Go ahead, let's do this. You have a good connection, Crash?
Yep.
All right, so do I. So I like to call this south-north choke for obvious reasons. He's got the north-south, I got the south-north. So that's actually a good defense. I've tested it a long time ago. So this is a blast from the past. Boris from, he's sort of almost a mythical figure from the Blue Basement at Enzo's. This is the guy that basically, he was really good. He wrestled for Hofstra, wound up getting his black belt. And basically his plan was, when he turns 40, he's going to quit jiu-jitsu. And he did. I kind of looked at him incredulously when he told me, and I said, what are you going to do, play piano? Or I don't know, I'll figure it out. I'm going to try something different. And he did. But he was a really good black belt. At one point, he went for north-south, and I went for south-north. I could not finish him, but he backed off. So I knew it was good technique. So it's sort of like one of those things that if he has who has a better execution. So as he has gravity on his side, I need to make sure that I kind of shove his head in my armpit to make sure that, so as soon as this happens, notice that I'm turning, and the reason I'm turning is to make sure my shoulder rolls into the choke, but more importantly, I kind of deny him the exact angle that he's looking for. So basically, his angle is slightly off, mine is on. So that's another good way. Now, let's suppose that the guy is using the north-south less as a way to gain a submission, but more as a form of control. So a lot of times, going north-south is a good way to sort of stop the guy from escaping. So if I'm bottom side control, and I start to escape, and Crash goes north-south, my escape is out the window. So instead, notice how, again, I'm trying to get my grips close. Now, my elbow's close to my torso. I don't really care how strong Crash is, and he's a little stronger than I am. If he tries to ferret out my left arm, which is the obvious arm, to start to attack the arm, start to lift for an armbar, I just connect. Just go ahead, take it. Come on, Crash. Don't you do like physical something?
Yes.
Aren't you supposed to be really strong? Stronger than me? All that working out the window? Come on. So the bolt cutter grip basically prevents him from attacking the arm. So now basically he decides that he's going to just use the north-south as a form of control. So I don't want to be here. I want to escape. So when that starts to happen, at least I start to feed his arms towards my legs. So basically from now on, I'm going to keep it. So it's not that easy. If any time he decides that he's going to rip his arm out, go. I regard. Okay? So he can't just rip out hard. He needs to pull it out whilst trying to stay. So that it's going to buy you time. So if I wind up getting caught on the bottom side control, and he uses the north-south position as a way to take away my escapes, I need to learn how to escape that position. So basically he just uses it as a form of control. So I'm feeding his arm to my right leg first. I'm going to bring it to my left, and from here, we can go into inverted triangle. So let's look at it from a little different angle. All right, maybe this one. So again, now I'm feeding his, pivot maybe so they can see. So as I'm feeding his arm to my right leg first, and then I'm going to pinch it. From here, I turn my hips slightly to my left, and I bring my left leg over. I immediately make sure that I make a connection and squeeze. So that's one way to escape. Again, anytime I start to set these things up, if the guy sort of gets suspicious that I'm about to hit him with something and basically disengages, that's your cue to put him back in guard. Don't wait till till he slowly, if he rips, back in guard. Don't expect him to come back, because now it's going to be a lot harder. All right? Now, sometimes as he goes north-south, if both my hands are under, what I'm going to try to do again, I'm going to try to move my hips side to side. And I usually just rotate one way. And he usually will start to follow you. When they start to follow, I'm trying to pick a spot when their legs are close to each other. And then I'm just going to plant and arch hard. This is a very surprising escape, but it works. It's purely timing. So again, I should start to walk. So if both my arms are under his, then I'm just going to basically start walking. And if he doesn't move, then I'm going to feed his arm and hit him with an inverted triangle. But usually people he knows that I'm about to feed the arm. So basically you can walk, it doesn't require a lot of effort. Stop. And now we have reversed the position. Sometimes as the guy starts to, if I have both arms under, so again, I try to keep my elbows fairly close to my torso, and then I just push. So Crash actually brought his head down, which is okay, no problem. Sometimes you have a quick submission off here, or you just squirm out. That's not good. I would go back. I would go not forward. I would back up. Yes, we regard. Because if you keep driving forward, I'm going to get a submission. So another way to escape that position is especially if both your arms are under. So you have to make a decision. Okay, where are my arms? All right. That's one of the key points. So if both my arms are under, and I'm trying to walk, and he kind of just tries to slide back, I go with it a little bit. I bring my knees up. No, stay down. And I'm trying to go either under his arm, over his head. But if he keeps his head down, a lot of times, the guy starts to punch your hips with his head. Yeah. Turn. And now it's a scramble. Okay? So you may need to combine a couple of different approaches, but again, if both of my arms are under, I try to feed to the leg for an inverted triangle. He starts to go a little bit higher. To avoid that, no problem. I start to bring my hips, and I try to get over his head. So this time, I got over his head, but he can easily swim his head back in to keep me down, no problem. I start to walk, punch, and then I come up. Or if he squashes that, no problem. And so we combine a couple of different approaches. Aaliyah, do we have any questions? It's pre-recorded, so there's no questions. So I'm going to recap what I just went over. How much time we got?
5 minutes.
Okay. So I'm just going to recap, and that's okay. So we have about 15 minutes so far. Mm-hmm. Wow. Time flies when you're having fun. Mm-hmm. So again, when you're in the bottom side control and the guy decides to go north-south, there's kind of 3 possible ways. All right? So 1, both my arms are above his. If that happens, you got south-north choke. You turn your head. You're going to try to come up, or you can hit him with a nogi Ezekiel. All right. So first line of defense, turn your head. All right. But you can have nogi Ezekiel. You have south north. Now, if one arm is below your arm, one is above, what I'll try to do is feed to my leg. From here, you can always start to lift if you have an inverted triangle, or if he basically realizes you're about, yeah, no problem, back in guard. Okay? Also, if one is above, you also, one is below, you still have the iron fist. Just make sure that you deny him attacking your neck first. So what I do is I control the second hand until I'm ready. Then I'll bring my hand connections a lot quicker than he will. And the third one is both arms. Both of my arms are under his. So if that's the case, like I said, I can start to walk. I can bump, arch and bump to get on top. If he starts to slide down, I can push, but I try to, this is actually good. If I can hit this, this is an arm bar. But if he rips out, can you rip out? Oh, it's not that easy, huh?
Not that easy. Nope.
Yeah, because that's a good arm bar. Anytime the guy backs off, it's your chance to put him back in guard. So, I hope this gives you some options when you bottom off north-south. Guys, like, subscribe, share. What else can they do with our content? Don't throw it out.
Follow us on the gram.
Follow us on Instagram.
Follow Instagram.
Yep.
Everything is under SilverFoxBJJ. Very easy to find. We'll see you next week.